Hi, everybody. My name is Stephanie Kraft. I'm the creator and owner of Radiant Sun Botanicals. I'll show you my logo and t-shirt here, Radiant Sun Botanicals, Love Infused. This is a natural body care products company that I created I launched the company in 2016. Before that, I spent 9 months solid straight working on my body butter recipes because I really wanted them to be of a really great consistency, not too greasy or oily. I wanted the body butters to really be able to absorb into the skin really well without leaving an uncomfortable feeling. And I wanted to create whipped body butters that were very healing for the skin, moisturizing, nourishing, a product that could really heal the skin. And I infuse all of my body butters with essential oils and my own healing energy. So I have a natural healing gift, energy healing, and I infuse all of my products with that energy healing. And when you put the products on, you actually receive healing every time you use them. And I've gotten great results, feedback from my customers. So this video, I'm going to go into the ingredients that go into all of my body butters. I have 3 recipes that I have created. And so this is the 8 ounce. I have 3 sizes, 8 ounces. This is the 4 ounce jar. And then I have 2 ounces. So the 3 different recipes are this one starts, the first ingredients is cocoa butter. So I'm going to start with that one, talk about the ingredients in that one, and then go over the other 2 that I have. So this one has a lot of ingredients. It starts off with the first ingredient that I add this is cocoa butter. This is raw, unrefined cocoa butter from India. I get this one directly from India. It has kind of a earthy smell, which is kind of strong compared to the other ones don't have any scent. And so I add some of this, and once I add all of the ingredients, you can no longer smell this one, because a lot of times you don't really want like your body butter to mask the essential oils. And so I don't use too much of this, but I like to include this raw cocoa butter from India because it is so healing. This comes from the seeds of the cocoa palm tree in, I don't know if it's a palm tree, but it comes from the mangosteen family, and it's also called the Garcinia indica. That's the botanical name of this tree. And there's fruit on that tree, and inside the fruit they have the seeds. They gather the butter from those seeds from the cocoa tree. This butter has oleic, palmitic, and stearic acids, and it is an amazing emollient. This is solid at room temperature. I can take a little piece of it off, and all of these butters that I have melt right on your skin. They melt at 77 degrees Fahrenheit. But if I rub this butter into my skin, because of course the skin is 98.6, or at least that's our internal body temperature. I don't know if it's the same on the outside, but this butter, it goes right into your skin. Now, of course, when I make my body butters, I use butters and oils. So it's going to be softer than this. I'll show you that in a little bit later on. But this is a very emollient, moisturizing butter, and it's excellent for damaged skin, cracked skin, dry skin, irritated skin. It leaves a nice protective barrier of oil. This is so non-oily. You can't really tell, but it's like velvety. It's really a really nice oil, and I like to include this raw one, unrefined one, because of it's so natural. It hasn't been refined. And then I also add cocoa butter, I think it's here, that is refined. This is a gorgeous, fantastic butter that also, of course, from India because it's from the cocoa tree. This is the refined cocoa butter that I add. It has no scent. And it's also just divine. You know, I got a little piece on my finger. It's just, it rubs right into your skin, melts right onto your skin, and provides a lot of moisture. And it's very healing. This is healing for even eczema, psoriasis, and rosacea. It actually, cocoa butter actually helps to regenerate the skin cells, and it reduces the degeneration of the cells. It's non-comedogenic, meaning it doesn't clog your pores. I have a lot of customers actually who put the body butter on their face, which I never intended, because I thought that most people would want to just put it on their bodies, but people are coming back to me and saying, oh, I'm using it on my face every day and it's so moisturizing and healing my skin. So it's not going to create acne or anything like that. It has stearic, oleic, triglycerides. It has antioxidants. It provides elasticity to your skin. It's very amazing. The next oil in the recipe is tucuma butter. This is tucuma butter. This is amazing. This is from Brazil, from the Amazon, from the tucuma tree. The tree is called the Tucuma do Pará. And I used to live in Brazil and I speak Portuguese, so that's the pronunciation. And this is actually kind of shiny. You can't really tell on the camera. Oh yeah, you can. It has a sheen to it. It's another emollient oil. Actually, I can even just take a piece of it off, rub it into my hands, and you can see that these butters go directly, melt on your skin, and they go directly in. This is such an amazing healing butter. I absolutely love the texture of tucuma butter added to my body butter recipes. I love it so much. And it doesn't have a scent. It's refined. It's not one of those raw ones like this one, you know, because sometimes they have a scent that's overpowering. Most of the butters that you find for making cosmetics and creams and lotions have been refined. You can find a few that are unrefined, but you may not enjoy the scent. Anyway, tucuma butter, this comes from the seeds. There's an edible fruit on the tucuma tree, and inside the fruit are the seeds, and that's where they gather this butter. It's very emollient, and it melts on your skin. It's all melted and soaked in. It doesn't leave any greasy feeling at all. It's excellent for dry skin. Again, excellent for eczema and psoriasis. So the next butter that I add in my recipe for this kind of whipped body butter is the mango butter. Mango butter comes from the Amazon, from anywhere that mango trees grow actually. But this mango butter comes from the seeds inside the mango fruit, and they cold press the seeds to get this butter. Now, mango butter is very amazing. It's softer than the other ones that I've shown you. The other two, cocoa butter and tucuma butter, are hard butters. They're considered hard butters. Mango butter is a soft butter. I can just squish it in between my fingers, and it is so soft. It is so smooth and creamy. It's like very creamy. It is a very nice butter. I love to add mango butter into my mix because the two first butters I talked about, kokum and tucuma, are hard. Mango butter is soft, so it adds a softness to my body butter. It adds such a nice texture. Mango butter, it is very moisturizing. It has high levels of stearic acid, vitamins A, C, and E. It protects you from the sun, not like a high SPF, but at least a little bit. It can prevent dry skin and wrinkles, and it also reduces the degeneration of skin cells, restores elasticity. It can also help with eczema and psoriasis. So, and it's a very silky, velvety, wonderful feeling. The next ingredient in my body butter is, in this recipe, is Babassu butter. You might want to call it Babassu oil, actually, because it's very soft. This one, it's like, look how soft it is. It's almost like the consistency of coconut oil, but it's a bit fluffier and softer, and it melts right away when you touch it. You can see that right when I touch it, it melts at body temperature, and it actually has a cooling effect. It's anti-inflammatory. It's excellent for it's like stings, sunburn, bug bites, rashes, eczema, psoriasis, rosacea. This, even though it melts right away, it actually rubs in really well and absorbs very well. Again, this is a light oil. It doesn't leave any kind of oily feeling at all. So it's almost actually absorbed into my skin. So I really love adding Babassu oil actually, to my formulation, because it adds so much, because I've got the kokum tukuma, which are hard butters, then I add the mango, which is a softer, creamier butter, and then I've got this Babassu oil that is a lighter, fluffier, but it adds so much moisture. And the Babassu tree is called the tree of life, and it grows in the Amazon, and it has 50% lauric acid, which is anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and antifungal. So you're getting some really healing and protective oils in my body butters. This has myristic, palmitic, oleic, and stearic fatty acids. It's an excellent emollient for the skin. It's great for chapped skin, irritated skin. All of these are excellent for cracks, like in your heels or dry hands. And again, this is also excellent for eczema, psoriasis, rosacea. Very good for after the sun, for sunburn. It is such an amazing oil. Okay, the next, after those butters and oils, I add liquid oils. So when you're making a body butter, you do part hard and medium soft, and then part liquid oils, plant oils. So let's see, the next, this is rice bran oil. I add rice bran oil to my body butters. You can see the beautiful golden color. Hold a little white sheet behind it so you can see the beautiful color of this oil, rice bran oil. In Japan, they have a complement that they use, and it's rice bran beauty. So it's a compliment for women, and if they say, oh, she's a rice bran beauty, or you're a rice bran beauty, it means that she has been putting rice bran oil on her skin because it's anti-aging, prevents wrinkles, restores the skin. It's amazing. This rice bran oil comes from the germ and husk of the rice, and it's rich in vitamin E, B, beta carotene, CoQ10, and squalene. If you know anything about these chemicals, squalene is one of the best anti-aging chemicals, compounds found in plants. It's amazing. This really helps with skin regeneration, elasticity, healing, slows down the aging process of the skin, and it helps reduce dark spots, plumps the skin, gives a youthful glow. It's excellent. Wonderful oil. I love adding rice bran oil to my body butters because it adds almost like feel it like a bouncy feeling of my body butter. After I added rice bran oil, I just loved to my concoctions. Once I did testing for 9 months, and after I added rice bran oil, I was like, oh, I'm always going to add rice bran oil because of the way that it adds a nice texture to my body butters. The next oil that I add is Abyssinian oil. Abyssinian, I like to find exotic butters and oils from around the world for my products. I'll hold a little white sheet so you can see the beautiful light golden color of Abyssinian oil. Abyssinian oil comes from the Mediterranean. The one that I get actually grows in Canada, and this is a natural seed oil coming from a mustard plant, and it's in the family of the mustard plant, and it's comes from a flower and or the seeds, and this oil has a unique molecular structure that's not found in any other naturally occurring substance. It has a high percentage of unsaturated C22 fatty acids. It is highly resistant to oxidation. This means that it's a very stable oil, very long lasting. The same is true for my cocoa butter, the raw and the and the refined. They're both highly stable. They last for years. They don't go rancid. That's what it means when you have a highly stable oil or butter. They don't go rancid very easily. They're very resistant to oxidation. That's why I choose some of these oils or butters to add to my products to extend the shelf life of the products. Abyssinian oil has high levels of linoleic and linolenic fatty acids. This is helpful for skin and hair regeneration, reducing inflammation, adding moisture. It's a really special, lovely oil, Abyssinian oil. And I also add castor oil, organic cold pressed castor oil. Castor oil is amazing. It's very thick. It's a thicker oil, and you can see the beautiful golden color of this organic castor oil. I use a little bit of castor oil because it has amazing healing properties for the skin. It's very emollient. It's very thick. You don't want to use too much in your recipes because of how thick and heavy, but when you use a certain amount, it creates an amazing consistency to your body butter. Castor oil has been around for a very long time and has been used for its medicinal purposes, even in the native lands that from Africa to India and the Mediterranean for thousands of years. I'm sure you've all heard of castor oil. It has a high viscosity. It's very lubricating. That's what I was saying when I was saying it's very thick. It's considered a warm oil. Like I was talking about the babassu oil, it's a cooling, anti-inflammatory oil. Well, the castor oil is considered warming, and it promotes circulation. It's excellent for massage and relieving soreness. It has an analgesic, so that's pain relieving property, and anti-inflammatory property as well. It has ricinoleic or ricinoleic, however you pronounce it, acid, which constitutes almost 90% of the castor oil. And that's a beneficial chemical molecule in the castor oil, which adds to its healing properties. It's a decongestant for the lymphatic system, and it works on the immune system by stimulating the thymus gland and increasing the number of lymphocytes, which are white blood cells. So the amazing thing about castor oil is that when you use it externally, it actually affects these changes internally. Your skin is the largest organ, and what you put on your skin, you absorb. That's why it's so important to choose non-toxic, chemical-free products like mine, because it is absorbing into your skin. You are absorbing it. That's why I really love that this is organic as well, the one that I use. And it adds a luscious quality to my body butters. Oh my gosh, it's so divine. That's why I use that in my and that's it in my products. So that is the body butter that when you look at the ingredients, it starts with raw, unrefined cocoa butter. Then the next one is Takuma butter. So when you're looking at my recipes, my body butters on the online or in person, the one that I just went over, those ingredients, that's the one that's higher priced because of I price my products based on the ingredients. And so that's the higher priced ranged one. And the first ingredient is the cocoa butter. Now, the next recipe, body butter base that I have. And by the way, after I add all those butters and oils, melt them down at a very low temperature so that they're liquid, and then I add the essential oils, and then cool that in the refrigerator. And once it's a specific consistency, I whip it up. I whip my body butters so that they're whipped, and I'll show you the consistency of the one that I just talked about. That is, actually I use this sample size one to dip my finger in so I don't mess up that one. This is a sample size. I will talk about that later, but the consistency of this one is, it's like a soft butter. You can see it on my finger. And so I whip it so that it's like a fluffy, soft, really nice consistency butter. And body butter melts with the contact on your skin immediately. So even though it might seem hard in the jar, it actually melts right away. As you can see, it melted immediately. So body butter melts at 77 degrees Fahrenheit. If you get body butter that's melted in the mail, if it's shipped to you and it's melted, put it in the refrigerator for until it gets hard again, and then it'll be good again. If it's really melted and you put it in the refrigerator, you can always take it out when it's semi solid and whip it. Just use one of the handheld mixers that you would use for baking, mixing your ingredients. You can use that, and if you want to get that consistency again. But I probably will not be shipping my body butters in the warm months of like June through August, because I don't want you to receive a melted body butter. So stock up on your body butters all the other months of the year. I'm going to be updating my website to say that I'm not going to be shipping in the hot weather, because they do melt at 77 degrees Fahrenheit and higher, and nicely enough, they melt right on your skin. So it doesn't matter how hard it is. If you receive a body butter from me and you look at it or you touch it and you're like, oh, this is kind of hard, I kind of have to dig in there to get it out, they're usually not that hard. But even so, that one will literally melt right on your skin. Okay, so the next recipe, the next body butter base that I have, starts with mango butter. And can you see, trying to get the glare? So the mango butter is, I already went over the mango butter. The mango butter is so amazing. This one only has two ingredients: mango butter and organic golden jojoba oil. Organic golden jojoba oil. You can see that beautiful color. This is an amazing oil. Jojoba oil is very similar to the sebum oil on the human skin. Very similar, composition. So it's people love jojoba oil. They love it for massage oil. They love it for moisturizing. Let's see what I have here written out. It's extracted from the seeds of the jojoba plant. It's actually a wax, not an oil. It's excellent for lubricating the skin. It has a non-greasy feeling. It's non-comedogenic, which means it doesn't clog your pores. And it's non-allergenic. It's high in minerals and vitamin E. It's an antioxidant and an antibacterial. It has a silky feeling on the skin. It's divine. So that recipe, the one with just the mango butter and organic jojoba oil, then of course it has the essential oils. That's the second highest in range of price. So the cocoa butter is the more expensive one. The mango butter is the middle range. because the range is because they come in different sizes, so they're going to be different prices. Okay, and then the third recipe that I have begins with sal butter, S-A-L, sal butter. It also is called shorea. It has two different names. It comes from a plant in India, a tree, and the sal tree, it's called. And for all of these butters, they take the seed or the kernel or the pit from the fruit, and they press the oil out of the seeds. That's how they get all of these oils and butters. Sal butter is highly moisturizing. It adds a protective and softening layer to the skin. It's highly resistant to oxidation. Again, that means it doesn't go rancid. It's a very stable oil. It's a hard butter. Where's my sal butter so I can show you? Here it is, right here. Sal butter. Gorgeous, wonderful, luscious sal butter. These butters are so lovely. Again, if I take a piece of it, it's going to melt. I can rub it right into my skin and use it as a moisturizer. It melts right in. It's very soft. It doesn't have a scent. The only thing about the sal butter is that for my inventory that I have here for my company, I have several pounds of sal butter left, so I'm going to keep making them. I have specific recipes that I use for the sal butter, but I might end up phasing it out. So get your sal butter, body butter, while you can, because it's the cheapest one that I offer. It's the least expensive because sal butter itself is way less expensive than cocoa butter, Takuma butter, even mango butter. Mango butter is mid-range, but Takuma butter and cocoa butter are very expensive. Abyssinian oil is very expensive. Meadow foam, I didn't talk about meadow foam. I forgot to tell you about my meadow foam. This is actually one of my absolute favorite oils. It's in meadow. I decided to put meadow foam oil in all of my recipes. It's probably not updated on my labels right now because I added meadow foam seed oil later because I love it so much. This is meadow foam seed oil. Meadow foam, they call it meadow foam because when you see a field of these white flowers, if you see a huge field of these white flowers kind of like blowing in the breeze, they call it meadow foam. That's where this comes from. It comes from the seeds of these flowers. And why did I add meadow foam seed oil to all of my body butters? Because it adds an incredible consistency. I don't know how to explain the consistency that it creates, but because I did my testing for 9 months, I tried every butter and oil combination in all the different percentages. And once I started adding meadow foam seed oil to my body butters, it was like, oh yeah, this is it. I'm never gonna not use it. It's very expensive, but I include it now in all of them. Do I have a description of it here? Let's see if there's anything else that I can say about it. It should be on my website, but I guess I didn't print that page out. But I absolutely love meadow foam seed oil. It doesn't have a scent. Oh my gosh, it actually smells good. It almost smells like something roasted. I don't know. It smells so good. But the thing about this oil, meadow foam, it makes the essential oils hold on to their scent longer for like years. It stabilizes every single oil or butter you would have, meaning if you add meadow foam seed oil to any concoction you have, it lengthens the life of it because it's so resistant to oxidation, doesn't go rancid. That's another reason I add it. It adds an incredible texture and it adds longevity to all of my products. I probably had a few more things to say, but I wanted one more thing before we go. The saw butter recipe, I told you that I still have a lot of inventory left and several pounds of saw butter, and it's on the lower range of pricing. Probably going to phase that out. That's what I was saying before. So it may not be there forever. If you want that one, you can go on my website and look. That's you'll notice which are the higher priced, which are the middle, and which are the lower. And the cocoa butter one starts at the highest. The mango butter one is medium, and then the saw butter one. That's why they're different prices, because they have different ingredients. And all of them have essential oils. All of them have my healing energy. And I think I went over every single ingredient that I use. And in the saw butter recipe, for example, it has saw butter, organic cold pressed baba su oil, rice bran oil, organic castor oil, and meadow foam seed oil. So I didn't repeat those because I already went over those, but those are the ingredients in the saw butter recipe. I did tell you that the mango butter one only has mango butter and organic golden jojoba oil, just two, one oil, one butter. And the cocoa butter has that longer list of ingredients, all those combinations of oils and butters. That's it for this video. I'll be making videos on all the other products that I have. And this is just about the body butter base ingredients. Okay, hope you've enjoyed learning about these butters and oils from around the world. Take a look at my website, radiantsunbotanicals.com. My other website is stephaniecraft.com if you're interested in the healing work that I do. See you soon.